Hello everyone, welcome to the next video. Just a short update today. I've not put out any videos in the past 2 weeks or so, and I thought I'd update you because we're actually heading, me and my twin, we're heading to Scotland from the 12th to the 17th or 18th, so there won't be any new videos in that time frame. I might try and get out a review just before I leave, but it's unlikely. But as I'm sitting here in this wonderfully quiet church, I thought I would just take stock of where I am and some ideas for the channel. Whilst I've just finished the thesis, I thought I'd be taking a substantial break, but it seems like that's not the case. I've been thinking about various articles and essays, trying to write a few different things. So whilst I would like to get back into just generally writing articles and essays, admittedly I've been mulling over an idea for a monograph of sorts, a book, a non-fiction book on a particular subject. It's interesting because I thought I would be taking a break, but I can imagine myself in the coming weeks actually focusing on writing a book, actually beginning my next substantial project. A title keeps running around my mind, Toward That Place, Discovering Nature. This book might be dedicated to all the different ways that we can discover nature, especially from a young age, covering everything from art to music, video games even. And it's interesting that we're heading to Scotland, because the main episode I'm thinking of that kind of grounds this project, kind of gives it kind of a foundation, is that when we drove to Scotland in 2022, just last year, me and my twin were looking at the Pentland Hills and Arthur's Seat, which is visible from a particular road quite near the town that we grew up in. And we were remarking that we had never really registered that these hills were there, always in view. And yet when we were younger, we never really appreciated nature. We were almost blind to nature in a sense. And it's not that we really took it for granted, because we didn't even really see that they were there at all. And it was only when I started engaging with art, different forms of art, that I really became aware of nature, became aware of the quality of worldliness, which is kind of my term for being connected to the world in this our storied and beautiful planet. And so, Toward That Place, it's a book that I would love to write. It's obviously a very big endeavour and it's going to take a lot of thought, but I can imagine myself writing it. So I think the goal is I might give updates on that in the future. And most recently, I learned about a course that Patrick Curry is hosting in February, which I will be attending. Quite fortuitous. Curry's running a course called Wonder and Enchantment, a run for 6 weeks, and it's being hosted by the Centre for Myth, Cosmology and the Sacred. So I think that'll be a good way of gathering my thoughts and kind of bolstering and reinforcing what I already know about wonder and enchantment. So I'm looking forward to that. I've been speaking to Curry via email, conversing with him, but I might actually be able to get into conversations with him and ask him some questions. So it'll be interesting to kind of pick his brain about wonder and enchantment, and hopefully that goes towards my project, Toward That Place. And so, moving on, one of the things that I want to do for the channel is to get more people involved, to have more kind of dynamic discussions, not just me talking to the camera. And I'm always pestering a friend to get involved with the channel, and actually he's quite eager to do it as well, I should say. Richard, who I've mentioned on the channel quite often, and I've been talking about recording discussions or even debates about a variety of topics, kind of long form debates about art and politics and the sacred and whatnot. And it might even be a case that I just interview him about his PhD, which he's just started. And so obviously there's scope to discuss literature and art and philosophy and politics with Richard, but I'm aware that in the past I did reach out and I suggested that viewers of this channel can send in emails or messages with topics, so that is still an option. So if you are interested and if you do want to kind of stir up a conversation or want a particular topic discussed, do let me know. And another thing, one of the series that I run on the channel is Returning Truths, which is something that I find very worthwhile personally to do. This series about reminiscing about a variety of places that I've been, things that I've seen, but obviously it has limited scope, I guess, for other people's enjoyment. It's kind of a personal thing. I do try and keep it broad, but I have been hesitant to continue with that series because it's not something that, again, it's not something that viewers can really latch onto in the way that my other video categories can. Most recently I wanted to record a Returning Truths for architecture, which I may still do, but let me know if you gain some enjoyment or insight in that series. As for reviews, I'm trying to ramp up production of reviews. Hopefully some of you might have noticed that I've been putting out more book reviews. I'm also trying to read more as well. As I've finished the thesis, I have more time to read. I think I'll be finishing my 5th book, which I'm fairly pleased about, kind of reading back to back. So as I say, I'm trying to ramp up the production of reviews and keep the channel running, keep the channel alive. And on that point about reviews, I'd love people to recommend some books in the comments. Perhaps books that are a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I have a tendency to read books on a particular set of topics, nature and the sacred and art and whatnot, but yes, if you do have a book that you desperately want me to read, please put it in the comments and I'll try and get to it. So I'll just end on a little discussion of what we plan to do for Scotland. So most likely we'll be recording a vlog. I'm not sure if that will be suitable for this channel, but it'll most likely be on my twins channel. It's always a very special thing to go back to Scotland, and this will really mark 10 years of gradual returns. Many changes have occurred in that time. I was recently reminiscing about all the different places that we've been in Scotland and how much various places mean to us. Places like Glencoe and Craigmeggy and Abernethy Forest and things like this. So I may end up recording a video just on Scotland for this channel. Scottish nature and where we really grew up discovering nature and what the landscapes and the history of Scotland means to us and things like this. We may also be returning to Tolkien Memorised as well, although that's kind of a tentative option because we still don't have the best recording equipment to make Tolkien Memorised as good as we possibly can. And recently, of course, I ended up collating all the different Tolkien Memorised videos, moving it from the Zanturi channel to this channel. There's a whole lot of background there, but we might do something for Tolkien Memorised. I think one of the big ideas is that we will be sitting down at Craigmeggy and surrounded by mountains, and we might actually be talking about our shared world building project, Sartoris, for the first time in detail. So that might be quite a special video. All these different ideas, but this is supposed to be a short video, a little update video. So I think I'll leave it there for now. Hopefully you found that video interesting and you're eager for the updates that are to come in the near future. And hopefully you stick with the channel. I really think of the other word as being a kind of a sacred grove that we can all be in and contemplate nature and literature and art and all the things that make life worth living. Till next time everyone, thanks for watching.